hidden, forgotten. This is Harbor Town. Harbor Town is an all-new
sound
series
issues,
from
guys.
Building Authority, the leader in tabletop gaming scene. Unique, flexible, and playable.
Preps at halftime to make sure everything was good. So. So, Bill, you got a lot of painting done today, too?
A little bit. Just mostly that the blacksmith. You saw that?
Yeah, I did. That was cool.
Yeah, actually, I saw somebody had a great idea. Went around to the dollar store and bought some combs.
Some what?
Combs.
Oh, combs. Bristles.
Yep. So, yeah, that's what I figured. Oh, that'd be great to put a sword blade on the anvil.
Nice, smart idea.
So flipped one of the teeth out of the comb, and like, that's good. So I can, add something to that figure to make it look like there's something on the anvil.
Smart move.
They're not the most dynamic figures, but they'll look good in the on the table when we're doing it. And then I just took all the rates, put them on bases and dry brushed them up, and then I just kind of paint the bases and dry brush the bases.
Frank's getting close to finishing up the initial teaser ads for the fundraiser. So he's doing a 45-second spot and a 2-minute spot. Frank from Nightheart Gaming. So awesome. I sent a new letter to Reaper asking them to sponsor or participate. And I sent it to all the owners of the company and some others. So. Just don't turn your mic off. Yeah, well, this time I won't because it's a headset. So, look at that. Carlos just made himself a member of the Free City of Altamira. Thanks, Carlos. That makes you a VIP member for a week, but you're already a VIP member. But now you can live in Swain's Tower for a week. Although I don't know if you want to during the fundraiser event, we'll see. Right, Bill?
Yeah.
That's where the finale.
Swain's Keep is pretty much a cursed place anyway.
that's where the finale is going to take place. So, but
doesn't matter who lives there or when they live there.
Thank you, Carlos. Good to see you on, man. So, like I said, fantastic job with Lou Gygax too.
Yeah, that was great.
That was awesome. I actually have a date when we're starting this. So.
Starting what?
Trials of the Legion.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. If we go 2nd, 9th, should be Thursday, January 16th. Get some super high level adventuring in. Well, if you call that super high.
For us, it is.
Yeah, 12th level. 12th level characters in there, some 10th level characters, definitely. So thanks, guys, everyone that's hopped on tonight on a Sunday night here. Looking forward to this discussion. Yeah, exactly, Jason. 12th is really, when you get to that level, it's like, my game peaks out. Now, the highest thing we did last year was last year's fundraiser. where we did, you know, we had 16th, 15th level mage running around, Mario's 13th or 14th level, right, Anna? And so we had a lot of, but this year I think our fundraiser event's going to be 9th, 10th level characters. I think that's what we're going to do around that realm of, but that's cool.
That's pretty high in our group now.
Yeah, absolutely. Whew. Oh, look at that look at that. I got a spinning logo too. I figured out how to do that.
Wow. You leveled up your
Yeah, I leveled up in Twitch and in video producing. Yeah.
You're definitely higher level than I am in that.
But still, it's I can't get it to be completely translucent. I couldn't figure that out with the Microsoft software, so I may need to work on some other things. But yeah, you like that? So thanks, Kitano. Hey, well, what's up? Hey, David, good night, and let me know if you could be on. We'll start at 7:30 next week. You can be on for a half hour, man. Let me know, because we want to include you in the Gabbin next week. Greyhawk Vloggers. You really should be involved in that, so let me know. What's up, Will? How you doing, man? Everyone's feeling it tonight. You know. Not that anyone cares here, but the Eagles pulled out playoff game. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason wants David in there too. So, all right, everyone's doing great. Fantastic. So we'll come on 2 minutes early, guys. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
I'm just painting, so you're in control.
Yeah, I'm actually doing some.
Well, that's good. So I'm going to be blabbing the most, which is fine, you know. So.
Yeah, I'm actually doing some Cobalt Press work. I'm touching up some things in Photoshop here. It's going to go on Fantasy Grounds for Cobalt Press.
Cool.
Yeah.
This kicks off the day where we're going to be back into the swing of regular streaming. You know, back into multiple events. So, alrighty, 2 minutes early. Sounds good. Hopefully, we don't have any glitches here. Hey, good evening. Thanks for coming on tonight on a Sunday night. A half hour late because I had to watch in. You know, I knew that game was going to run late for the football, so I just said, I'm not going to rush things. I'm Jay Killer Kazumba, and I got Anna Meyer on with me, and I got I can't call you the Ever Mysterious. No, that's Tim. So I got Bill the Master Crafter on, and Bill's got a big announcement. Well, for Bill, it's a big announcement.
I do?
You do. You don't even realize it. I'm going to, please all, if you have Instagram, I'm going to put, Bill has set up finally an Instagram. So I'm going to put that up right away. And please follow him because he's going to be putting a lot of his posts up where he paints stuff up on Instagram. All right, so there, I'll be doing that multiple times, but that's a big announcement. Is that we got to get
that's
some Instagram followers tonight. So hey, I know some of you remember last year how sick I was when I did this year in review, and I did the year in review last year because I got sick for the Gabbin and I didn't do it. It was the day after New Year's. If I recall, it was like, so I did it on a Monday. I'll do a year in review. I was still ghastly sick and could barely talk. I'm a lot better this year, and we got a lot more stuff to talk about this year, I think, 2019. So hopefully everyone's doing well. Thank you. And Anna, so overall, what do you think about 2019?
It's been, for me, it's been a blast of a year, so to speak. Last year was the time when I kind of started going to conventions, not more than occasionally, so to speak. So, and this year has been kind of crazy. Google told me that I've actually traveled 79% around the planet, and that's mainly been for conventions. And so I've been to, I think, like 6 conventions across the country, and I've had a blast, and I've met so many awesome people in the business and fans and people, just regular gamers, and it's been fantastic. And I haven't been able to produce as much as I hoped, but on the other hand, I've worked on a lot of projects that hasn't come out yet. So I think that 2020 in that regard will be a more productive year, so to speak, because a lot of it, what I've done this year, is actually coming out next year. So half of the work this year has not even made come out in public yet, so to speak.
Well, sometimes you can be real busy behind the scenes,
Yep.
and and then it all hits at once, kind of like the real job I work for in the commercial industry.
Yeah.
Stuff that you don't see it till 9 months down the road, but that's a good thing. It's a good thing
Yep.
for you, Anna. Definitely. So, Bill, what do you think about 2019? Just in synopsis, I mean, wow. For us,
it was a fun year. We did a lot of stuff. We've definitely upgraded our terrain, and a lot of new figures to paint.
Yeah, a lot of new figures to paint, and that's what I was going to say. Is that for you, well, for all of us, the Reaper sponsorship was probably the biggest thing, because it's just the amount of stuff that we're pumping out now with terrain and figures, and just all we've really tried to take up our content one notch. So it's just in general, but for me, it's like I don't know. 2018 was like our feel out year. Like I don't think any of us knew. Hey, Rethix, thanks, man. Let's get all those emotes while we can. I think you can get emotes till like January 4th. So hopefully these are emote sharers, all these resubs. So thank you so very much, man. I really appreciate it. It's been this year, I think, was a year that we actually knew what we were doing. As of 2018, we were still finding our way, and so what I'm going to do is we're just going to go back. I'm going to do some highlights of some things and discuss some things. And we'll bounce around a lot like we always do. And then, guys, if you have any highlights you want to share of ours, hey, please feel free. I got a lot of pictures up. So below me is a picture of all the modules that are not my own doing, that I ran of someone else's, which means 3 of Carlos's are up there. The Hidden Temple Rithful's up there. Expedition Retreat Creation Edge Games is up there, and I think there's one from Advanced Adventures as well. And then I got pictures from the conventions running, and some other things under this one. And the one to the upper right is pictures of all of our gaming that went on over the year, some highlights of some things we did. So. Well, hey, man, I'm trying. I'm doing my best, man. So, well, I like to hear that too, Rox. You love Tim DMing, and it took a while to convince him to get into doing it, because we had Brian DMing mostly on, which Brian does a good job. And I love that game too. But getting Tim in to that old school game took a long time. We had 3 sessions this year, so that's a good starting point right in the middle. I am really excited that he decided to do that, and now he's having fun with it. And now he's telling. Go ahead, Bill. What's he doing?
He's driving me crazy.
Why is he driving you crazy?
Because he's got requests for terrain and figures now. Too.
Oh yeah, now you have 2 masters to serve here when it comes to all the terrain and all the work. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So wait till get the bill.
That's a good thing, though. It's great that he's really enjoying himself. That's the important thing, that you have fun and you enjoy yourself, and
it's nice to have him back playing on a semi-regular basis too.
Absolutely. And he came for the Heroes of Greyhawk Night. And he's going to be playing in 2 games during the fundraiser 24-hour stream now, guys, because we added Praetor's Rejects, by the way, everyone. So just note that Duff is going to go from midnight to 4 a.m. And then Carlos is going from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. And Tim's playing in that game, and he's going to be playing in the finale game at my house too. So we got a lot of really cool things going on. I see Carlos is on here. Wait a minute. How come I never? There it is. So and
I don't recognize Carlos with his haircut.
Yes, that cool glasses look there. The man with no eyes look, which is pretty cool actually. So we started the year off. Let me go back to the beginning on the top one here. We started the year off this year with and I put this up because I thought it was super cool of Mike to do that. Here goes me with the super cool again. Mike Bridges did this out of the blue. And you saw this, guys, on his Geography front page, and then on Flanders Geographical Society as well. And I just love that he loves the Altamira heraldry and Altamira itself, and he put that up there. So thanks a lot, Mike. I don't think you're on tonight, but thank you for doing that. So that was really nice.
I love his comic style maps like that.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. Yeah.
I wish I could do it. I don't have any capability. I have no.
Well, you run an awesome Twitch channel and awesome games, and you log them carefully, and it's yeah. So you have a lot of talents.
Well, thank you. My wife doesn't think so, but no, I'm just kidding.
Don't inflate his ego.
That was a joke. All right, so here, when we break down our log sheet, and notice this is at the beginning. Yeah, it's an awesome map, Jason. It really is. Oh, guys, see the little thing in the upper left-hand corner? A little subliminal messaging above my head with all my logos? I wonder what that is. If you can notice it, I have all my logos running, but something else is showing up there right now. So I'm starting to, yeah. You guys know what that is. So.
Who, the Falcon?
Yes.
Oh.
The Falcon is coming back. So. We'll have a meeting, guys, probably next Saturday for all those involved. Will, Carlos, involved. We'll try and get a Saturday morning meeting to get some updates on that. All right, 840 is where we started, and we started with a brand new adventuring group in 2019, and we had no name for them for like the first 6 or 7 at least sessions. Correct, Bill?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was quite a while.
Yes. So I had to go back, and rewrite an add-in, and we came up, and so there's still contention about the Bloodied Brethren being the name. Some people don't actually like it. So I don't know what Bill, that was your idea, but Alan doesn't like it, but that's okay.
Well, I don't like the Omega Patrol either.
We gotta live with some really bad group names like the Omega Patrol. Yeah, absolutely. So he'll live with that. But we started with and let me see, 840 to 860 to 867. So we ran 28 adventures. So we're almost at a clip of one every 2 weeks, right? Which is pretty good. Some of them were one-nighters. Some of them were multiple shots, but that's what we did in 2019 running. And of course, this is on my front page, but I'm always proud of this. Why is the Orb Adventure in small print? Oh, you know why? Because it's too big to write it, and I only like it on one line. So that was the fundraiser, Jason. Good question. That was the fundraiser from last year. So you see, Orb of the Elder. I don't like having a second line, so I made it small so it fits. I don't. That's how anal I am. I boom, 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 one-liners all the way down. So that's why. Orb of the Elder Worm finale, stopping our miracle, the chaotic. So why don't we just go there since Jason brought it up? So let me scroll through to the bottom here. I got things moving around. So. Hey, Laser, what's going on, man? I just went by it. Anna was nice enough to do a lot of stuff for us for this fundraiser event. And that meant a lot to me, including this ad.
Yeah, we did some, we did.
This ad,
exactly.
Okay? And this is the ad for it. Thank you so very much, Laser. Really appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. We're going to have a lot of giveaways coming up in this month as well. So appreciate the sub. 16-hour Greyhawk Mega Stream charity event, Saturday, March 23rd. Now, this is probably, Bill, you agree with me? This is probably our coming out party.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't there, but it was.
Yeah, so
I was away on a Boy Scout trip with my son.
Right, and then but I know, but that you had to do that, and we had everyone here. Anna played Mariel, which is Joel Arzy's friend.
Lots of,
and she remote-inned, and Mariel is in a relationship with John, Tim's dad's character, Abdul Amir, which Gitano, you played Abdul at PAX Unplugged. You played a lesser version of him. There's a picture of Mario. So this fundraiser started. Will started it off, and this was March 23rd of this year. And Will did a reverse dungeon, which was awesome, where they played the monsters, and that was really awesome, fun, a great time. Yes, you did. And then Marco did his part in the Shield Lands, and then I did my part of the finale, and we ran and we went late. And there's Tim's character Fensick, that old figure, and we had a blast with it. And I think everyone was there, but Bill, who had a commitment with his son, and we raised $1,000, guys, for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So this year,
great charity.
It's great. And this year, might as well just pop this up right now. Do I have this on here? Okay, so this year, I'll put that up here. It's going to be a 24-hour Greyhawk Mega Stream fundraiser event. It's going to be February 15th, so it's only 6 weeks away, and it's going to run from midnight of that Saturday all the way through to midnight of the Sunday. All right, going late in the morning Sunday, because I start at 8 p.m. and we have 6 channels, guys, not 4 but 6 this time. Everyone has a 4-hour block. It's going to be. You're not the early guy. You're not even close, Will. You're you asked me to do one thing, not make you the early guy, because your time zone difference, and we did that absolutely. So you got the 12 noon deal. I think it's going to be a blast. I can't wait. And our goal is to raise $2,000. Let's double it this year. With 6 channels and all the different people all over the place, I think we could really have a fun time with this. And the story is based, it's Return of the Falcon. If you know the Falcon modules, the 3 modules, the WGA 1 and 2 and 3, those modules are. Bill and I were talking last night, because we went over and we had like a kid, our sons played together last night, and we had a discussion on this. And Bill doesn't remember anything from them.
No, I don't remember much at all. I've read them.
They're not that memorable.
Exactly. So I said early on when I was planning this, I want to bring this character back in a more memorable way. So not only do we have the 6 channels, we have other participation, some other things to announce. The Art of Mike Disney. He's another Reaper sponsored channel. He does unbelievable work. He's painting a figure for us, a Reaper custom for us, gratis, free of, with his time, to represent her in the finale battle. So he's participating. The Bards of Greyhawk, the musical group, have approached me saying they want to participate in this. So it's growing, which is great. Bill's going to be doing something that we're talking about, where we're going to give away something to the highest donator, something really cool. That we
we just got to work out the details.
We're working out the details now. So anyone who wants to participate in a game, let us know. There's plenty of openings. Okay, we got 6 games, guys. So I know Carlos has Tim. I don't know if he has anyone else committed. I don't know, Will, if you need a couple people, or Frank's not on tonight watching. But if Frank did, we're trying to get Reaper to. I've made some outreach to Reaper, see if they're going to be involved. I can't wait. I think it'll be a really blast of a time, and a good one to start with. On our year in review 2019, it really did. This is where our channel started, and I looked at the numbers. Like, we were averaging, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 viewers, and then it really spiked up after that. And we had our first major raid that night. Jimmy the Brush raided us, and that really helped. And we got a lot of donations, and it was a great time. And I'm looking forward to everyone's participation. What do you think, Anna? Have you for the finale too?
There was so much fun last year, and I think it could be. It could be even better this year. And I think overall, Greyhawk is ascending a bit. We kind of coming back to getting a bigger place in the RPG community, just a little bit bigger, and it's awesome. There's more people, old people coming in again who played back in the day, and there's more people kind of rediscovering or discovering Greyhawk for the first time. So So I think it's really it's great that way. So and there's so many awesome, both from bloggers and people doing more in the Greyhawk community. So it's so it's I think there's a good chance of reaching the double goal from last year, and more bigger audience, more players. And also, you way more experienced at running it than last year. So yeah,
And that is, it's good because Frank Schumacher from Nighthawk Gaming is, and he, if you've ever seen his, oops, I just did it again. There you go. I did it again. So Frank is great with his intros and all his, he's got a studio in his
Will
house.
and Carlos and others, they also have a year more experience doing things on Twitch and running things online and stuff. So it's awesome. And Carlos have published more stuff, and so there's
We're gonna have a great time, and I think the story. What's cool about the story is each DM is gonna be allowed to have a lot of autonomy in their story. It's kind of like I said, if you've ever seen the movie Heavy Metal with a Lochnar, it's kind of that kind of way. It just makes sense to do it that way, but it's gonna be a blast. I'm excited. I'm excited about it, and it's good that you'll be here this year, Bill. That you missed it last year, and.
Yeah, it'd be good to be there.
Yeah, and you showed up for Heroes of Greyhawk Night too. Yeah, which is
and you made you made some awesome terrain and stuff for last year. So
he did. And,
yeah, nothing that big this year.
Okay. Yeah, but it was fantastic. Yep.
Yeah, we have Swain's Keep, that big tower. That's right in the middle of Altamira, and that was one of the reasons why I started off with Mike's picture. Altamira is central to our campaign. Well, the finale is going to be there instead of in Greyhawk. I mean, all right, Greyhawk's cool, but we have our own city, so we're going to use it. So, so that's one of the big things that happened. But man. Tom, thank you for that cheer, and Tom put a full year in gaming with us too. As Tom, who just put that cheer up, came in like October of 2018, and Tom, always had stuck around for a couple months and then was out, but he's in for the long haul now. And Tom has a real, comical, positive aspect to the gaming we all love, and we love his characters. So we get to see Tom playing two of his three characters. He gets his half ogre. He may be playing Kren again on Thursday night, and Thomas the younger. So it'll be
Kren who doesn't hit.
Kren who doesn't hit, exactly. We better hit. Oh yeah, that's right. The Carlos adventure with the Dark Creepers, he did not hit the entire night. I forgot about that. Wow, what a great adventure that was too. You guys hated it. So
I loved it.
Yeah. So back to the start of the year, we did I went all out on a winter scene for Winchester's Bulwark. Oh my God, Tom! He just that's 25 people just got emotes too, man. Thanks. Holy schmolies.
Wow.
You're cranking it up tonight, man. Thanks. That's awesome. That is so great. Yep, a lot of people are probably getting emotes from that.
Tom, you're still going to die on Thursday. It doesn't matter.
He's like, I want all these hero points to be for Thursday. There's a picture of the group, the Bloody Brethren. Now, guys, our campaign style is way different than everyone else's. Everyone's got 3-player characters. And they interact a little differently. It's a large group, but they don't all play at the same time. And we've been doing that. We do what's called joint experience. It's almost what you do in 5e, where you hit, what do you call it when you go up a level, and in 5e?
Well, you level up.
Yeah, but you call it something, threshold or something. Guys,
oh yeah, milestones.
Milestones. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
It's similar, but I'm still doing experience. So characters-based thieves go up quicker, and druids go up quicker. I'm still doing that.
I guess that there's an optional. You can probably do XP, or you can do milestones. Most modern game systems seems to have you can do it one way or the other. You can simply say that when the players have come to this point and done that, then they all level up, or you can dole out XPs, I guess. But I haven't played 5e enough that I've leveled up that much.
We haven't leveled up in Brian's, not yet. Yeah. But yeah, I guess it makes sense. But I kind of still like doing the experience the old-fashioned way. I just do.
I don't do it the old-fashioned way, but I still keep XPs. But I dole out XP per day the characters survive, and depending on what terrain, meaning if you're just sitting at the cozy home inn, you might get 1 XP a day if you don't do anything risky. But if you go down to the abyss, you get 500 a day or something like that, just surviving and thriving and existing in that environment. So that's what you get, and then you get extra for doing cool things, like Bard makes an awesome performance, you come up with a good idea, and I always have like the players simply say that, oh, that was an awesome contribution to make the game more fun for everybody. I dole out XPs, and they write good resumes after the game. I give them XPs, stuff like that. So yeah.
Here's the question though: is it joint or is it individual?
It's joint.
Okay.
Yeah, most of it is joint, but I get individual for doing cool things and coming up with things that make everybody laugh. Then I dole out like 50 XP or 20 or something like that individually. But the party gets for when they're in a certain area, so to speak. That way they don't have to feel like they have to kill anything in order to get the XP.
Right.
Just going through in a scary area gives as much XP as killing the actual monster. So I don't want murdering homing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Hazard pay with XP. Yes, exactly. Yep, that's that's exactly what it's my base kind of way of doing XP. Yep.
Rocks playing, doing milestones makes sense. It's just my style of DMing. I like to occasionally give out, like you can't give out tomes of tomes of silver magic or stuff that raises characters up experience points or levels if you're doing milestones and making them separate. Yeah. You got to really, and plus we have groups with characters going in and out of the groups, so you got to be careful for that too, because but there's ways of working around all that.
Well, you can, and you have to adjust it. I usually have the rule that if someone comes in and with a much lower level character, it's more scary for that character. So you get, if you're below the party average, you get more XP. That way you kind of come up, because if the whole party is level 10 and then you have a level 5 character, it's more scary and risky for that character. So I simply say, well, then you learn faster, so you get like plus 20% XP or something until you level up and come. That way you can kind of catch up to the party. Before it was easier because then there was more of a difference between the higher you went in level, the more XP you had to earn between levels. Now that's evened out. In like Pathfinder 2, it's 1,000 XP per level period.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That way I have to reintroduce because the old way of doing it in like first, second edition, then it was simple because you lower level characters caught up with the higher level if they just adventure together, because they needed less per level, so to speak.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think that, I know we're getting off on a tangent here, but you think you're really going to like the Pathfinder 2 over a 3.5 Pathfinder?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, because it's to me, it's basically what that started. I didn't start with 3.5, but it was the first edition that really grabbed me as, D&D evolved into what I liked, so to speak. And the Pathfinder was just a continuation of it. So it simply became my edition because I played it for like 20 years, that system, so long that it became mine. And it feels like Pathfinder 2 is a logical evolved it logically, so to speak. You have as many options and cool things. You can do everything you could in the older version. It's just a bit more streamlined and balanced, and especially high level play seems to work much better than it used to. So I think it has a bigger sweet spot. So that's why but it's more personal, because I can totally get, if you come into it today, I will probably pick 5th edition. Yeah.
But you wanna, I know you want to differentiate a little bit, and you kind of like the Paizo group,
and also I have they have so many campaign rules that I love. They have so many campaign systems that you can, how settlement works and how exploration works and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's the way that I don't run them sandboxy that I think it kind of works.
Well, it's good to hear, because I'm assuming we're going to see you doing some of that this year, and we can talk about that at the end and announcements, which is really neat. where was I here? That's a good. We got off on a good tangent there, discussing what's going to be happening too in 2020, because we're going to be bouncing from our successes in 2019.
Yeah,
I think all of us are.
You have to talk about the next year and what's coming up. And
Absolutely. All of us, I think, all the streamers that are on, all the players that are on, all the bloggers that are on, guys, I think it's just going to be a great year, 2020, for what we're doing with Greyhawk and with all the streaming too as well. The group here, everyone knows Fritz, okay, and I have 2 other NPCs, but everyone knows Fritz. And early on in this, the keep was completely almost abandoned because in the invasion that we did in the fall, almost all of Andre Winchester, who's on the top of the tower there, one of the most powerful Winchesters in the campaign. I know Bill hates her, but that's okay. We really don't know Andrea, do you, Bill? Your characters.
It doesn't matter.
Fritz rocks. That's right, rocks. Fritz rocks. So
it's the same gene pool.
She that was the whole point. They came there because they were really devoid on troops. It's right on the border on the Principality of Ulick, Anna's maps, and so I have this, so we're not going to crash the stream, guys. Watch.
Oh, exactly. I'm not going to share anything.
Yeah, no, but I preset this up really well here. Here we go. Okay, so there's Altamira.
Yep.
And here's the map area, and I'm just going to blow it up here. All right, so there we go. There's Winchester's Bulwark, the battle site. We've been there multiple times. There's Warmonger's Tower, Outpost 2, the White Towers, Herbie's. You can see Orog's Mountain is already on the map, and we're going to be there Thursday during the adventure this Thursday. And we've been there once before, early last year. And then north of Outpost number 1 is where the Hidden Temple of Erythnol is in the Sus Forest. So there's a lot going on in our area here. So yeah, this is good. I got this now. I can just pop right back and not crash anything. Was sharing a whole bunch of maps just in I can keep to reference. And yeah, Jason, I hope good luck with you running 5e. I know you got some nephews who you're doing stuff for. So this group was interesting because we did some things differently. Bill, pick one of the things that's a little different from other adventuring groups.
That's different. Well, I mean, it's of course it's a group experience group, so they're all there.
Right.
But it's kind of an ad hoc group. We have people who are conscripted to be there.
Yes.
We have prisoners who are forced there.
Yes.
It's a sub group of the Knights of Ulick that are allowing neutral characters, which is different than our campaign. Mostly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it was started by a ranger.
Yeah, it was absolutely Bill's PC Aylwin, and you'll see Bill's PC Aylwin, and I'll be running him because Bill won't be there. He'll be a little late on Thursday. But this whole you can see there's a hole in the wall. This whole thing was set up as a campaign setting for this new group of firsts, which we normally start out of cities. So we normally start a new group first in 3 spots: Greyhawk, Hardby, or Altamira.
Altamira. Yep.
This time we started them at a fortress on the Principality of Pelmarsh border, which was different for us. Also, I brought in high-level characters of PCs of other players to interact with the low-level characters during the whole adventure. Mm-hmm. So as we went on, and 2 of them are special trainers. By the way, this picture up here, that's the charnel pit left of all the dead from the invasion, and they just burned all the bodies out there. Well, of course, Jay as a DM is going to take that and utilize that at some point during an adventure, along with a hole in the wall. So we did a lot of things. We and I'll fast forward here a little bit, but this was the setup. There is that picture there. Tom's character, Ace Broadhead. He's a high-level archer. He's getting a tower built inside the keep. He's training a lot of the characters in missile fire with his longbow, and as they go up in training, I actually have special tables made, which is another new thing for me. It's custom leveling, where they get benefits as they level up with him. And you can only do one special trainer, so you can't do both. But so there's a whole bunch of characters, and there you go. There's a special training table right inside my, I'm a notebook on everything and all the special abilities that Ace is giving them. So so I actually have player characters training lower level other player characters. So I wanted to give that a shot and try that. And Walt's character, Oh my God, Gilgalad, ripped off right from Lord of the Rings, but he's a human. His mage is doing the magic user training there in the tower in the back. That tower right there. So his tower is there, and that's where his library is. And they can actually get what's called Eureka moments, where they can get special rare spells and add them into the library book there outside of the Unearthed Arcana. So
yeah, stuff cool that's stuff. Not in our guild.
Exactly.
Guild spell books.
So that's some of the cool things we did with this adventuring group, and we really had a lot of fun lower level and brought them up. Now I know Alan found it a little bit tedious as it went, but I really wanted to drag this out because I really wanted to, you know, use these characters a lot, and actually, you know, I didn't want to have to tear down that location. Like for this Thursday, I only have the bar area up. I have the inn up. The Bronze Dragon Inn is the only place I have up, because I need the terrain. I need, you know, so I kind of did it a little differently, but I don't have the whole keep up. And so we had some adventures going on there. We here comes the undead pouring in through the opening in the wall. Of course, had a necromancer raise all the stuff, raise everything there, and that was during an adventure. And this is where we split our group up. A lot of them went off on an adventure. The ones that stayed back didn't realize that they were going to have to do this in the middle of the night one night, where a necromancer came and animated all these, all the dead in those piles, and kind of threw a loop for them. You know, but that's kind of what we did. And that took, I'm going to say, by God, Bill, what do you think? That was 7 weeks of our entire 7 or 8 weeks of worth of stuff.
Oh, easily. It was probably the longest running group the whole year.
Yeah, definitely.
By far, the longest running group.
And we go back to them all the time. All the Carlos adventures, all three to Carlos was so nice to write for us. Warts and all was adventure 850. Okay.
Yeah, but I even bought treasure piles though to make up for Carlos's adventures. He doesn't like to give out treasure.
And then, oh gosh. So the first one was Mushroom Blue 46, Warts and all 850, and then we ran the Tenebris Deep 862. All three of them were written by Carlos specifically for this area of the campaign. Yes.
I really enjoyed the third one. I thought that one was really good.
Yeah, and that one had the Kenku, and that one had the
Dark Creepers.
Dark Creepers in it. And
yeah, that one, I really enjoyed that one. I thought that was really good.
It definitely was. Absolutely, it was a challenge. And I threw into that, if you remember, Fiona Swift-Thistle, which Brox and Brian basically made online with all the people as an NPC, and I threw her in there, and she does crafting. You know, she's kind of, no one knows much about her, but she's kind of bizarre and does
type of fake creature, stuff. Maybe part dryad or something.
So. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Kitano. Carlos threw up the Mushroom Blue. He said, "I'm going to write an adventure for you." The next morning, he said, "I just did it overnight, and here it is." It's, you know, it's an adventure card. I said, "Not Carlos. It's 9 pages long. An adventure card is usually 2 sides." You know, I was like, "This is awesome, man!" But you know, this is beyond an adventure card. This is a full module. You know, and so Carlos, we truly appreciated it. So, did you catch any of those? Any of the Carlos adventures?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them, and that's one of my to shop list. I have to buy all of them in. I will probably buy all of them in PDF form because I need to read them all really carefully and see what I can add to the map. So yeah,
that's a great idea. You like that? Yep. That's awesome, Carlos.
Yep. So that's I'm going to get all of the PDFs so I can read through them and scan them, because I'm sure there's some hidden cool stuff in there that Carlos hasn't even realized that I want to add to the map. So we'll see. Yep.
Yeah, that's great, because so you're talking about 576 or map, I'm assuming?
Well, we'll see. Yeah, that's something I have to talk to Carlos about. If some of these places, I'm sure they exist in 576, but yeah. So, but we have to also, because I don't know exactly when all the adventures are set in the timeline, so to speak. But if it exists in there and it's really cool, then it should be on the final map too. So we'll see. Yep.
No, that is fantastic.
Yeah, we'll see. It might not make the first edition on the 576 map, but there will be revisions. That's for sure. Yep.
And trust me, guys, I'm going to push hard for some of the stuff beyond Altamira on that 576 map, which would exist from the Order of
Yes.
Ulick. So it's particularly
Yep.
some Selenian stuff and Principality Ulick stuff. So that's great to know that. I mean, you have your map set now, and I know everyone. It's not
Yeah,
released to the public yet. It's just
no, but it's
Patreons.
for the patrons, yes.
Yeah.
And there will be one. I released the first release candidate, and then I had a poll a couple of days ago to simply how much of the other, because I created the heraldry for all the provinces of the former Great Kingdom. So, and I was like thinking, should that go on the public map, or is that too much of fan creation for it, so to speak? But it seems like most of my patrons wanted it on. So what I'll do is that on the second release candidate, I will release a version with all that heraldry on, and we'll see how the response is. If people say that that is too offshoot from the main, then it will stay on my campaign map, and we will hide it from the public release. So, but I think some of them are damn good that way, that
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they're good enough to be on the, but we'll see. If something sticks out from too much from the common sense, then it should definitely not be on the map. So the map is supposed to be kind of what's generally useful for a wide variety of Greyhawk in the Greyhawk community. If it's widely accepted and liked, then it stays on the map. That's the general rule.
Definitely. And I know that a lot of people were so appreciative of that balance of the map
Yeah,
has still got a
because
ton of room on it for that.
exactly, and
Yeah.
I want to be inclusive, but it needs to be generally accepted. If one or
Yeah.
two people here and there, everyone can't like everything, but it
Yeah.
needs to be generally seen as useful by a broad majority of people in the Greyhawk community. Yes, and then I have my own campaign version of it that has a ton more content on it, and that one I've released it to my patrons, but there is a rework of that one too, because I've done that in parallel, because I've done so much research that I found things that needed to change and added and stuff. So I tweaked my campaign map as well, and then I've taken way more liberty to add stuff. So that one is even has, for instance, I created a whole bunch of heraldry for I use for the Bone Heart, the Bone Shadow, and a bunch of other specialty symbols and stuff for the Empire of I use. So that way that is on will be on that map. And so yeah,
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's
So,
Carlos
yeah,
makes a good point that you got
Mhm.
it's got to
Yeah,
be
exactly. That's the
yeah.
that's the idea with that the map needs, some things could probably go on, but it needs to be introduced to the community, and the community needs to debate it, and
Yeah.
once it's there, so to speak. So I will release the release candidate with a bunch of it, and then we'll see what the comments will say, and then we will probably, and then there will be a public release candidate in probably mid to end January, and when that one is being debated and being yelled at or hailed or whatever, and we have a poll in the Flanders Geographical Society on things that have been contentious, and once that is settled, then there will be a public final release, so to speak, of the 2020 edition. And that will be the edition for 1 year, and then I will take comments as usually, and there will be a 2021 release with updates and tweaks and all that comes in.
Exciting stuff. Super exciting. And that's
and there's a whole bunch of stuff in the back burner too. We can talk about that later. So
cool.
Yep.
If you look up on this picture above, look at the carnage in this pic. This was the end of.
Yeah, that was a fantastic.
Yeah, this was the wall defense where the original army, the remnants, decided to try and breach it before it was repaired. So I kind of put this in. If any of you are old World of Warcraft players, where you can actually change the scenery in it. This was my idea here. It was like, all right, I have the piece. I have an undamaged piece that's going to go in there once they're successful, and they're building it, and they got some dwarves, 9 Prince of Ulick allied dwarves, and so we went to the town on that fight. That was fun too, and with those low levels, they're now in their like 4th and 5th level range, and so they're kind of growing up, and we're starting right off with them this year, and that adventure starts on Thursday. Return to Orog's Mound, And it's going to be adventure number 868 to start off 2020, and that'll be a 2-weeker. But we'll have we'll be back at Winchester's Bulwark. We'll have a lot of RP, so we're going to continue with this group. So everyone who loves Fritz is going to be able to see Fritz in action with all the other fun people there. But I had a lot of fun doing this. Yeah. So what's a Vortex 8? Okay, Jason. Vortex 8. Well, we're going to bounce around because we have questions. Hidden Temple Rithmal, as you see up there, came out of Vortex 8. Now, Bill actually got this 2 years earlier from Alan Grohe, as we were looking for it all that time. And we couldn't figure out where we could get it. I finally got a copy of the magazine to make sure I had a hard copy of it. I finally got one. But Bill got it from him, and we ran it with this group, with the Bloody Brethren, as adventure number, hold on.
It was a tough one.
856 was the Hidden Temple of Rithmal, which took place north in the Sus Forest. Here we go. I'll go back to this map here. So we go to this map here. It's on Anna's 576 map, by the way, guys. North of Outpost 1, right in that Sus area up there, is the Hidden Temple of Rithmal. So it actually got placed based on recommendations from our campaign, which is great.
Yep.
So,
we had started talking about the campaign idea of using the Pomage and the Sus.
Yeah.
And that's when I found that, a brief blurb on that adventure. I'm like, ooh, we got to find it.
Yeah.
I mean, it took, and that's how long it took to start planning. This was almost a 2-year project for these new firsts.
It took that long, absolutely, and we didn't run it right away. And once again, as a DM, you plan out where it fits in levels, and so it fit with us right there, and that's when we ran it. And it's for levels 2 to 5. It's tough, man. There's a lot of nasty things. Now, foreshadowing, guys. Good question, Jason. This Hidden Temple of Rithmal adventure, it ties in with Thursday night coming. There you go. So,
great!
You guys must be reading my mind. But our first adventure of 2020, Return to Orog's Mount, has a lot of things that will or didn't happen in the Hidden Temple of Rithmal. It's tied right in. So there you go.
War Giants with Rings of Water Walking?
No, that was 2018, Bill. Right? Yeah. That was the original invasion. This is, you'll see. You'll have to wait and see on this one. But yeah, tie-ins, man. You always got to have tie-ins. Also, Thursday night, since we're talking about it, Anna's NPC I've been playing, Zestra, is going to make an appearance.
Oh, cool.
Yes. This is kind of like a re-kickoff of the year. So we're going to have a lot of NPCs you may have forgotten about flow through a little bit to get everyone's feet wet again. So you'll see Zestra. You're going to see the Mysterious Mage, maybe, if you remember her name. There's a lot of characters you're going to see. You're going to see another adventuring group that you may have met during the Hidden Temple of Rithmal. We're going to see them, too. Lots of things going to be going on Thursday night. So, no ghosts of children, no they're Kitano, but you will see some fun things. All right, so
there may be the ghosts of all the children that Alan's elf killed.
Yes, and we talked about that last week on alignment slips. I never got to it, but that character, I think, should have a major alignment slip for that. I mean, he just went off, if you recall. I don't know if you agree with me, Bill, on that, but I think he should be more a cat neutral over a cat good after that. So.
Well, I think Kroger's evil for poisoning wells too. So that's
yes, absolutely. Kroger may be evil. Let me fast forward through here on the upper. So we got through all that. We got good question, Jason, on the Hidden Temple of Rithmal. We got through I put in a lot of these pictures, lots of adventures out here. And here was the problem. I had no room, so I had to do them on the sides or actually do something on the keep because there's no room on the table because I'm not taking this thing down. It took me 4 hours to put it up, and also I'm just like, I'm not doing it. And that kind of...
But it looks so awesome.
Thank you.
I saw that was the best game that I watched online, I think, because the terrain was impressive, the whole setup was impressive, and you managed a large battle like that
Thank you.
that was amazing. Yep.
I appreciate that.
Yep, that was really cool.
And there's the wall fixed. So
that was the best use that I've seen of terrain like that. It was awesome. You
Cool.
can just switch it out and it looks awesome.
And guys, let me do a shout out here. It's all Miniature Building Authority. So our Hearts and Carts from Pathfinder. Some of the stuff is Pathfinder figures, Jason. A lot of it's old D&D plastic minis too. But all the terrain, the walls there. Now, Bill crafted the fire, obviously. That's a Bill craft with the tea light inside. But all the buildings you see are all Miniature Building Authority. So now Bill has the tower inside. That's Ace Broadhead's archery tower. Bill crafted that. So. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. And we're going to do some more of this stuff. So here's our next, let's jump ahead. When we do firsts, because I'm already getting guys hounding me about first levels again. It always happens after a full year. I get the guys starting to hound me. It's coming, 2020. Probably it won't be till the fall. The fall of 2020. After all the stuff, after all the conventions. We're going to start ours in another town. We're going to start in Norwell this time because we have a presence there. We have the Norwell Headhunters. We have Trevin's Hall of Heroes and Trevin's Shield Hall there. Trevin and Brolin, those two characters are there. I have Bladestorm, my NPC there. I have a lot of other characters that are in and around of that town. We're going to start our new firsts in the Wild Coast in Norwell. I think it'll be cool. There's a lot of neat stuff going on, so we're going to switch it up and do it Norwell this time. And Bill, we already have the buildings. We've already put Norwell on the map. We actually, I think, did Norwell right before we started streaming. Correct, Bill? I don't think we streamed that. Yeah.
I don't think we did stream that. No.
Yeah, I think it was pre-streaming. We had Norwell on the map, so I have pictures of that. So Norwell's a large town, even though it's it's in the Wild Coast.
And it's a cool town that has a lot of detail in various adventures and modules and stuff. I think it's I forgot, but there's several products there is a map of it. There's a whole bunch of locations mentioned. So it's a really cool kind of little bit of frontier. It's kind of closer to the Wild Coast, depending on, but there's a little bit of everything around there. So it's
the Kurzellans had a secret lair underneath it.
Yes, they did. And there's an adventure there's a poison well that I did the unpoisoning of from a dungeon adventure years ago. It was high level. I kind of undid that, but there's a lot going on in that area, and we're going to try running those first in that, and it's the same thing. It'll be joint experience group, and we're going to try doing it there. So
yeah, because you're not that far from Greyhawk too, so there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with it.
Yeah, absolutely, and the Gnarly Forest, and the Welkwood, and Sus, and other communities, and Pomarge. We got a lot of things going on there, so look for that fall 2020. After all the major stuff going on. Lots of other stuff. Now, I have pictures up now. These pictures are from the Hidden Temple of Erythnal adventure. Okay? So, they're the pictures running through right now. This is from the fundraiser that we talked about earlier that Bill custom made all that terrain, and that was, a Miracle the Chaotic was the bad guy in that. The Orb of the Elder Worm he had gotten a hold of, and that was a great adventure, and that's the terrain Bill made for that. So we had some custom stuff coming up terrain-wise. And there's the Beholder, and you can see Tom the Vindicator actually behind that Beholder, and he's going to take it out in one round. And you can see in that picture right there.
That was the one thing I was able to stream a few minutes when I was in the middle of nowhere, and he feeble-minded it, right?
Yes, and it failed. Yep.
And you used a bunch of people threw in hero points for negative hero points against its saving throw.
And we'll do the same thing, guys. We'll take all those cheers and hero point them up, man. It's part of the fun of giving. You can actually really help the fight, and it helped the party at all. And the only person who died was Gazumba's best friend Hawk, my NPC, who's standing right there, right next to that in the front. He was the only character that actually passed during that, but he got raised. He dies all the time too. So we went through that. All right. Next big massive adventure we did was Defense of the Watcher's Towers. I'm going to, let me bookmark this and start here. Because I'm going to go to the map and show you what I'm talking about, guys. So that we can, it's way down, way down, way down, way down, way down, way down. It should be that one. Yep. Okay, it's set. All right. Map. Now, out in the Pomars, we've had these since the 80s. Okay, if you look at this map here, you can see Winchester's Bulwark, and you can see way out there, Watch 1, Watch 2. They're actually a little further apart, but if I'm going to do an adventure with them, I got to put them on the same table. So that's the Watchers Towers that were built basically by Walt's character Schlemmermeal. Now this was I allowed almost open levels in this, so everyone was playing some high-level characters. We wanted to do some old high-level Order of Ulick adventuring, and let me see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4. There was probably we did this one for I'd say 6 weeks, Bill, roughly.
Ooh, it was a bunch of because there was a bunch of different scenarios.
Yeah, and the scenarios reach so 851 to 854 are these, and so we had a lot of attacks on them, and it was called Defense of the Watchers Towers. Now this better go back to the right scene, or I'm going to lose my mind here. Yes, it did.
Once again, the Prince's Dwarves.
Yep. So, well, thank you, Jason. I know. I know that you were. This is where you about came in, and you actually posted about one of these scenarios in your blog. So, by the way, bloggers, guys, bloggers, remember that. Greyhawk bloggers, because that'll be coming up in a week. All right, so just remember those 2 words. And here's the Dark Brotherhood. It turns out I brought an old nemesis back, the Dark Brotherhood, which are worshippers of Leviator in my campaign. We're all behind all this, and we're using all the arithmetal idiots to do their bidding. Now, we had a lot of politics involved in this because the Prince of Ulick was doing things, and I kind of the Prince of Ulick as it's not a buffoon, but he's steadfast in his ways. He's going to do what he's going to do. So a lot of dwarves were killed in these scenarios, and there's the base setup of it beforehand. Once again, I have 8 foot by 8 foot table. I gotta fit most of this stuff on the table. So we're going to use scenarios in different spots of the table, which is kind of cool. And this thing went on for about 6 weeks, and it was a lot of high-level fighting, and it was nice to have figures all over the place. And there was a fight in the swamp with a Death Master. Wait a minute, a Leonard Lakofka Death Master. There, I did it. I got Leonard in, right?
You got him in.
I was thinking Leonard was going to show up tonight. I really was half thinking that he was going to pop in, because I did say, hey, Leonard, you want to hop in tonight? You're more than welcome to, but we'll see. So you never know. But here's the carnage out at the tower of that is trying to be built of the Prince of Ulick, and they're getting overrun. So the Order of Ulick had to go out there and save the prince's ass once again. The prince wasn't there, but his champion was there and some other characters. I mean, I love dead figures on the board. I just love that setup. So this fight went on. It was pretty nasty, and then the giants came in, and then they were throwing trolls into the towers. There's nothing better than catapulting a troll, right, guys? One of those neat ideas you can do. And this went on for 4 weeks, and then we had a fun time with that. And excuse me, Mark's character Arden decided to no longer serve the Prince of Ulick. He's a lawful neutral dwarf. He now is staying out there, not a member of the Order of Ulick, but working with them because he said he had enough of it in role play terms. And that was really cool by Mark. He played his character the way he thought he would react to it, which was neat. And so it's not just all hack and slash, guys. Sometimes you may not see it in our game, but there's a lot of behind the scenes political intrigue going on, especially at higher levels, which is neat. So hopefully you guys like that. Next stuff. The Michael Baton series, right? I have to talk about it. I'm sorry, but I have to, because it's a big thing.
I still don't understand the world's fascination with Michael Baton.
It's simply the name, and you talk about him so often, and I had no clue what the hell it is, but it was nowhere to be found, and then you found him, or what was it?
I know Carlos loves Michael. I know Gitano rocks. The Naz, they all love Michael just because he's like an anti-hero, and he's a PC, right? So Mark's character in Michael Baton's Revenge 849, and that's this adventure we're showing, comes up and decides he has gotten information and he's going to find this slaver ship, and he's going to kill everyone on this slaver ship because of what the things that have happened in the past. So this whole adventure, they come to this island area. They find a necromancer on the island from the Covenant of Necromancers. Half the island's run by the necromancer, the other half's run by the slavers. It's kind of a two-part adventure. When it gets to the point when they're on here fighting the slavers and the ship, they decide, Michael shows up through his mirror mental paralysis and says, well, you haven't killed everyone. He wants them to kill all the slaves too, and they won't do it, right? So, because we can't have anyone here, no witnesses. Now, here's the funny thing, guys. Bill, do you want to explain what happened after this adventure?
Well, it stirred up a hornet's nest in Hardby.
Yes, and why don't you cop to something? Mark's not on.
Oh, well, I had a character who was on the adventure who had enough of Michael and his nonsense and disguised himself and went around to every bar in Hardby and ratted him out.
Yes. So the word was out that Michael was behind all this, the disappearance of the ship. Now, here's the ship with the cannon. I know, I remember Anna didn't like the cannon. But
I was just amazed that others use it. It's not wrong. It's just whatever. It's a matter of taste.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just for effect, really, because we couldn't hit it couldn't even hit the tower, because the technology is just not refined. Yes. Yeah. But they took it and they kept it on their ship, the Sorcière, which I was shocked that they would do that because it has the engravings of the I forget what the name of that was, the maiden. Gosh, whatever the name of it was. So the next adventure, Michael Baton is missing. I get out Harbor Town for the first time. Harbor Town, that's when we started with it. Now you have even more.
Be right back in a second.
Yeah, no problem, Bill. So Harbor Town's out, Michael Baton is missing. And remember, when we ran this adventure, which is 859, the question was, well, does anyone care? So Michael has been kidnapped, and now they have to find out what happened. And I had this big fight. Now, the most important, the funniest thing that happened here was Tim's characters, the brother and sister, he has Hugo Stiglitz and Crystal Ion, were in this fight. And here's the fight going on. The ships are burning. These thugs are letting fire to everything. It's chaos in Harbby, all because of what Michael has done now, and the word's out. And basically, Alita Norbalos. Yeah, thank you, Katana. Harbor Town is gorgeous. Alita is going crazy here. She's going to eliminate anyone who she thinks it's one of 3 ships based on ship logs. Well, she's guessed one of the 3, but she's also guessed another player character group ship, Reckless Indifference, who had nothing to do with it. So there's 2 of the 3. So that ship on fire is one of the 3rd ships. Remember, that thing's been sitting there. It's always getting damaged. Remember when we did the Adventure of the Fog, it got damaged again. So this fight's going on. We stopped right here. Tim had 2 characters in it, and the sister decided that we've had enough here. And right during the adventure, when it ended, she just teleported away with him. And he was gone. So they were gone right in the adventure. So who knows where they are now, Bill? What do you think?
They're in Greyhawk City.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
they'll get theirs.
Yeah. So
they'll get theirs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Word gets around.
So this is the Steadfast. That ship is burning. So Alita's burning everything and saying she's going to kill off all these characters. She's had enough of this. In comes the next adventure where they Michael again sends a group out after they find him. They go get him. They find he's on a slave ship. They make a deal with the ship, remember, to free him, and the slave ship goes away. If you remember, that parlay actually happened. Next adventure, which I threw a curveball. I said enough of the Michael Baton stuff. And this is the one where I did the Ode to Isle of the Ape, right? Yes. So this was Repercussions, Escape from Isle of the Ape. So they went, and there's Michael, and there's the ship's trying to be repaired. They go, and they're going to go down to this place called the Rock, which is on the map, and they get into this major hurricane storm, and they get shipwrecked on this island, and they got to find a way off the island. So that was kind of like, I feel like I'm going to do something. I'm going to change things up. So thanks, man. Thanks. and this was the Isle of the Ape adventure. And this was a big one for us because Bill had just started painting for Reaper stuff. And that's what was so big about this one, was that, they got shipwrecked and then they got to find their way off of this island and find all sorts of things. And if you go through here, there's the ogres that Bill painted was like the first thing that he specifically said, we're going to put it in the stream because we have so many things we got to show for Reaper as a sponsor. So that was the first time we did that. And so that was kind of a cool, adventure to throw a wrench into things. I just enough of the Michael Baton drama. I'm going to do a completely different adventure. So, and I love that picture there down the side.
You also sank our ship.
I did, and Sea Dog Ned is seeking Davy Jones' locker now?
He's sleeping with the fishes. No, he's buried on the island, I think. Didn't we bury him on the island?
Did you find his body? You did.
Yeah.
You did find his body. Yeah, you did. You buried him on the Isle of the Ape. So, Rethix, I will add that to someone on Thursday night's game as a bonus to start off. Thank you very much for adding that hero point, man. Appreciate it. Said we're going to use channel points. I know that's open to all of them now, but we're going to use it to our advantage. So they found their way off, and the last Michael Baton adventure was not a Michael Baton adventure, but it was an adventure that I just wanted to run because I got all this stuff at a convention. It was the Miniature Wargaming Convention at King of Prussia, and I got more Miniature Building Authority, Harbor Town, and I said I got to use it, right? So I added the lighthouse and some other buildings and stuff, and we did the fog. And the fog was this was the adventure I was going to run at Gen Con if the Miniature Building Authority booth had room for me to DM it on the floor, and it didn't. So this was the adventure I was going to run, and so see you, man. We'll talk to you later, and stick around next weekend. We're going to try and have a meeting after your stream on that morning. So good luck with Asarak. I guess you're running Tomb of Horrors. So the fog was a cool one that we ran. It was really detailed, and Michael Baton was there, but he just showed up and said, I don't have to deal with any of this, and he left. And it was all drowned ones, guys. Drowned ones are nasty. So, hey, Geek, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Hope you had a happy holidays.
Yeah. Hi, Geek Days.
Good to hear. Good to hear. So that was basically all the Harby goings on that we did in 2019. It's not all about Michael. There's a lot of other things going on. I love the Harbor Town stuff so much. I gotta use it, right, Bill? I mean, it's just awesome.
No, it is really nice. I mean, Kirk's people did a fantastic job on it.
Yep. And I went to dinner with Kirk from Miniature Building Authority, and another thing in 2020, it will be streamed. Okay, I haven't told anyone this. I don't think. Kirk has asked me. He's going to fly me down to Atlanta, probably in April, May, or June, to his home and warehouse facility where they have a huge setup, and he's gonna have a whole bunch of people, and I'm gonna DM a session or stream it on my channel, on Lorcazama channel, with all the Miniature Building Authority people and with his family, and it'll be a fun time. So look for that mid 2020 a stream at the Miniature Building Authority's warehouse and facility, and we can have a lot of fun with all the terrain they have, and I will run something at their site. Yes, so that's another announcement for 2020 that I've really been keeping close, tight to my chest here. But I love their stuff. They were our first sponsor, and so cool. All right, let's change up things a little bit. Let's talk about talk shows a little bit for 2020. What do you think? I don't have the listing out on this, but guys, if you have any questions about, it should be Greg. I think it's going to be awesome to do it, and it'll be a fun time, and it'll be something different, and it'll of course be probably on a Saturday. I'll be streaming. Gabbin, this show.
Yeah.
We did 27 shows in 2018. I don't know how I did it. I started with number 28, delving into the damage dealer, and this is number 77. This is our 50th Gabbin this year. I thought I was off more than 2 weeks, and I know we were off last week, but my gosh, wow, we've just 50 Gabbins, 50 talk shows, and then we added 4 Legends and Lore, which I have that add up, and that'll keep on going. So we got a lot of.
Yeah, we have one planned for upcoming week, and then we have more for. Then you have the Living Greyhawk stuff coming up.
Absolutely. So I think I have it right here.
Have some other cool stuff. So
Let me just scan through.
And I'm working on some cool guests too that will come on sometime this spring or winter or spring. So
So with number 62, Gabbin, we did a little test. We did a crossover event with Legends and Lore where we did the Greyhawk Gem of the Flash. So it was kind of like a test bubble on a Monday, and we ran this, and it went very well. Thanks, Katano. And we did that one, and we said, well, when the time's right, we're gonna Anna's gonna come on over, and that's what happened. And I was very happy with that, and I just love. And here's the season 4 premiere. We had it on November 13th with Alan Grohe on Undead, and we will announce, and I'll show the one during announcements for our next Gabbin. I'm sorry, our next Legends Lore, Wednesday, January 8th. Which is going to be coming up, and then I have 2 scheduled. We have the January 8th and January 22nd already set what we're going to be doing. So thanks, Jason, and we've talked about a lot on this show, and I really am proud of our discussion. Like Legends and Lore is for, I don't want to say canon. Legends and Lore is much more.
We talk about the setting itself and kind of dig into general topics about the setting or specific ones. So it can be, we talked about religion, we talked about undeads in Greyhawk, we talked about dragons in Greyhawk, we talked about all sorts of stuff. And often I like to have the show that kind of digs deeper into parts of the Greyhawk that normally don't get covered, meaning we've all heard the stories about the iconic adventures and stuff, but go a little bit beyond the beaten path and explore the setting more in bigger terms, so to speak, and other areas of the settings, so to speak. So we try to have a lot of different aspects. We've had guests on talking about Greyhawk and stories and what they've done with it, and that is something we hope that we can do even more in the future. And so there will be a couple of more guests coming up this year, next year.
Absolutely, and the great
some really cool.
The great thing is that on our last Legends and Lore, out of the blue, Leonard Lakofka just logged in.
He just popped in, and
I didn't even talk to him, and that was just on the Salt Marshal. It was hysterical, and I think now we're finally getting to the point where, hey, that's a cool thing. I mean, it's going to happen a lot more now. Like, I am excited about having 2 talk shows which have a little bit of a different flavor. We have one for deep delving into Greyhawk legends and Greyhawk places and Greyhawk timelines and Greyhawk canon and published sources. And then we have this one to talk about my campaign, stuff that's going on, stuff we're interested in, rules that we use, all that. So the ball's rolling, Jason, exactly. And it's going to roll. I guarantee you it's going to roll really well next Sunday. So stick around for that announcement. You already know. So, we had some great shows, and I've now done 4 DMs roundtables. 3 of them were this year. We did 1 last year. We've done 3 this year. Our 50th show, Greyhawk Talk, went almost 5 hours, where we just BS'd about Greyhawk. That was a great show. We had Leonard Lakofka on twice, which was awesome. Both shows with Leonard, where he stuck around and talked about things. We've had Brian Blumklotz on talking about heraldry. Anna was on with customization of maps.
Yes, we did. We added Altamira for the first time on my map.
Yes,
and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yep,
absolutely. And we talked about a lot of classes that we've done. We talked about some rule settings. We did a lot of that last week on rules. We delved into like the magic user, the fighter, the ranger, the necromancer. Bill, what's been your favorite Gabbin of the year? And if I know that's a tough question.
Ooh, that's tough.
Couple, maybe 1 or 2 you liked.
The mage one was very good. I'll tell you, I really enjoyed when Leonard was on. Because it gave us a glimpse into one of the original creators behind the game.
Yes.
Now he wasn't the original, but he wrote large portions of the first edition, the Advanced Players Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide is uncredited. Yeah. He wrote some of the greatest classic modules of all time: G Dwarven 12, Bone Hill. Yeah. I mean, it's it was really great to see him and to get some history.
Plus, like
see
monsters, spectators.
Hey, we know that Lurg wasn't Lurg's real name; it was Grell.
Yeah.
That Gary changed it because that kind of stuff you hear from him is great.
And we know how to pronounce Ouija now.
Yes.
That was like a shock, like a Ouija board instead of Ouija. So, it's been a great 50 shows for Gabbin. I liked, and I looked back and I said to Bill, I said, what's really cool is we're getting a lot of hits now on our YouTube mirror. And I'm putting this up, guys, in case you don't know. If you ever want to, beyond the 90 days, stuff comes off of Twitch. So if you don't know, and subscribing is like following. It's not subscribing on Twitch and subscribing on YouTube are two wholly different things. Subscribing on YouTube is like following on Twitch. But it should be linked in here. I got so many. It should be on there. It's the bottom one. If you ever need to reference back, every Gabbin is on, and every Legends and Lore that we've on our channel is, once it goes off the 90 days, is on the YouTube mirror. All right, so just so you know, you can get it there if you need. And there's a lot more hits there. We're getting a ton of hits now post game live stream on our than we ever had before, which is a good sign too. And that's exciting to me as well. So Anna, what any favorites for you over this year? I know you've been on a lot.
It was one of the I've been on so many, but one of Len Kafka was kind of an awesome one. But also I like to hear when you talk about your specialty classes and stuff. It's really cool because I like to tweak certain things. I don't tweak as much as you do, but I'd love to see someone who go into a campaign as deep as you do. And I love that part. It's awesome because I get ideas for things I want to do and things like, oh, that's just that inspirational part of it. And I love that bit. So actually, I like the Gabbin shows even more than the live games in many ways. Yeah.
Thanks. Well, the live. Let me tell you something.
Live games are not
tough.
bad by any means. Yeah, it's tough.
It's
but
tough
the Gabbin
to sit there
shows
for 4 hours.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alan Grohe was on. Yes, that was a great one too. Jason, absolutely.
And Jason, we had Jason.
We just had Jason on recently.
Yes,
yep,
and that was so much
Number
fun.
75, Hidden Gem NPCs at Greyhawk. Jason was on for the first time, and Jason's going to be on next time.
I'll say it again. Jason's stuff that he puts up on his Facebook group, especially his NPCs, I love reading the stuff he puts up there. It's fantastic.
Jason, once again, please link Grail of the Earth Abides up. I custom added a lot of my players, Tom and Walt. I gave them invites, and Marco, who hadn't joined, so you'll probably see them join up shortly as well. And it's good to get like those key people out there on the show. And we're all trying to get some really good guests. I'm not saying we're fighting over guests, but we're trying to get guests on, and we have some coming. Particularly have some people who have never been on the show next week. But at least one that's new that has never been on the show for next week. So it's a good thing. I liked, and this is what I'm going to do with Gabbin after next week. Week after that, we're going to go into something I don't think. Here's a little bit of a 2020 that doesn't get 5e attention. I don't know if it does or not, guys, so correct me if I'm wrong on this.
Please correct him if he's wrong.
Please. We're going to delve into elves next week because there's all these different kind of elves.
Yep.
All right, so the week after next, we're going to do what the difference between a high and gray elf is in our game. Sylvan, Wild, Grugach. Because I don't think and we're going to talk about characters in our campaign that are elves. That's in 2 weeks. But I think we're going to do some of that a little bit, something we haven't touched on. in a campaign, because Selene, there's a little bit of a discrepancy. I think Selene's a Grey Elven realm, and a lot of people think it's a High Elven realm. I guess it just matters whose campaign it is and who you're playing.
Well, you can check the Living Greyhawk book. It'll tell you the population densities.
Well, it has population. There's Grey and High Elves in Selene.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll actually tell you what the density is of them. At least by Living Greyhawk.
At least by Living. Well, the good thing is, and why don't we jump to that too? Living Greyhawk. So Wednesday, January 22nd is Living Greyhawk night on Legends and Lore. Now I have one problem. I'm up to 5 people who want to participate.
Well, you don't have to have me. I wasn't part of.
Are you sure it's your show?
Oh, yeah, I'm just kidding. But that's the.
Yeah, we have 4 definite confirmations for that show, and a 5th who wants to come, and we'll fit them. We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
We'll make it work.
We'll make it work. But I want to have them all participate because I want to hear the stories, because I never participated in Living Greyhawk. So
me neither. Yeah, I live too far away from it, so I missed it.
Yeah, we're gonna have that Legends and Lore, and that'll be probably the second Legends and Lore of the new year, because I think we got to miss the 15th. So we have the 8th. We'll put that banner up for that shortly. But the 22nd will be Living Greyhawk. People who actually ran each of the sections of them, a lot of them are going to be coming on. I'm excited about that. Yeah, bigger screen. I wish Catano. So, well, Jason, at least you tasted it. We never participated in it because we were in our own little world. For better, for worse. It's probably for better, because I would have been fighting with them about all the Principality Ulick stuff the whole time. I would have. Like, no, this is ridiculous. So the same thing. Of course you were troublemakers. We would have been troublemakers too. So I understand that completely. So 50 shows in Gabbin, 4 in Legends and Lore, a couple other things here and there. We're going to keep the content coming. I love doing the talk shows. I know, Anna, you love doing the talk shows too.
Yeah.
It really, it's kind of like, I've never been a blogger, but it's kind of like our blog live, right? Stream. It's kind of like what we are. We're live stream bloggers, or if that makes any sense. But, so Bill, what do you think about idea-wise? You got anything you can throw right out there? I mean, the elf thing was mine. You got any, other faction?
Well, you plumbed me for ideas.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I know you've been working on it, but it someday it would be great to do stuff. If we did a terrain show, and so that, like, if we were able to get Reaper, if we were able to get Kirk on, if we were able to get those kind of guys on, 3D printers, you talk about that stuff.
Definitely do more. Yeah, you should do more shows that are dedicated to how you do stuff and how you can start doing it, and expertise, advice, and just inspiration for people who want to get into crafting own stuff.
Bill doesn't want to
do that
show.
I don't intend to do it, but I would love to watch stuff like that.
Yeah, I know the terrain crafting, shows are a little full. There's a lot of people out there who do really nice work.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to hear at least from our sponsor groups, to see, hey, where do they see stuff going in the future for figures and terrain, that sort of thing. It would be interesting.
Let's hope that I get I sent a long email today to Reaper about the fundraiser event and some other things. So let's see where that goes, because
even if say, hey, there's other guys who are subscribers to our channel. Cass is one, who does Tomb Guardians and stuff.
Right, and we can have them on. Yes, that's a great idea. We should definitely have Jeff on. Jacob Jansen on for a 3D. We should have a show on the future of terrain and do a 3D printer discussion and that's a great idea. So that would be a cool one. Yeah, we're going to do something like that.
I'd sit and watch it. It would be great.
No, because you want a 3D printer, and so as long as we keep on. Hey, if Tom keeps on cheering 1,500 a show, we'll have your 3D printer for you shortly. So there you go. So yeah, we'll keep on going with that. So we got a lot of things we're going to be working on, brainstorming. There's so many events early in 2020. What's up there, Wes? Oh, where are you, Wes? Where are you again, man? Wow. Snow day, no school tomorrow. That's dang. So it hasn't snowed here yet. This in Jersey yet.
Yeah, I think it's stuck.
Yeah.
We have snow on the hills here. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's a
And
beautiful
this
look.
is Southern California, and
Well,
we
Anna, I
have
say
snow
the
everywhere.
pictures of your wildlife photography is fantastic. The
Oh,
bird
thank
ones
you.
you took the other day were really great.
Yeah, I was out counting birds in Orange County of Christmas. Yeah, it's one of
Cool,
my
man.
sources of inspiration
Awesome,
because I
Bryce.
want to do virtual terrain and maps and depict a fantasy world. So I want to go out and study what the real world look like and take inspirational pictures and stuff that I use both for color reference and for ideas and stuff like that. So yep. And one of the plans is that once I start detailing locations in Greyhawk, I want to do virtual landscape photography of the planet, of
No
of
time, no
the
more.
setting of the Flannies. That's coming. I already done some experiments, and when I get a little bit better in a couple of years' time, then there will be some. We can do landscape pictures, like real poster quality landscape images from the setting of the Flannies, from Greyhawk setting. So yep.
We're getting.
No, I don't. Yeah,
yeah.
Jason asked me a question. I don't still fly. I only fly virtually, and I have friends who take me up occasionally. So yeah. So I'm grounded now. Yeah. Mhm.
We're getting to the point now where you can, back in the day when you saw something, you can actually convert that into something in the computer.
Mhm.
My whole in the campaign are twofold, right? Two things. And I was talking to Bill about this last night. Just finding a city mapper that is not booked for a year and does not
Mhm.
charge exorbitant fees is very difficult.
Yep.
I've tried. And the second thing is that I have no capability. There's graphic artists out there. We all want renderings of our characters, right? Well, we have like 500 characters. That would cost me my house. I
Mhm.
mean, literally,
Yeah.
a rendering of a character in full pick is going to cost you $500, you know, or something crazy. And it just, those are the two things that I wish I could, you know, that I don't have access to. I'd love to have for my campaign. It's tough, you know, but
But
hey,
one of the ways around things like this would be they're artists, and now this is a kind of a plea, and I'm guilty because I haven't done it yet, is to do more generic stuff that will be, meaning if you run a business and you want some generic business pictures, you can just go on one of the sites that sell generic images, and you just license it and you can use it. I would like to see a fantasy image site that you can simply go on, pay $20 and you can use it. And so you can, that streamlines the licensing of fantasy things, meaning character portraits. If I were an artist doing character portraits, I can crank out a couple of them every week. I can put them on the site and people can license them for $5 each or something like that. They can use them, and so stuff like that. But someone needs to put that infrastructure that it's actually beneficial, because you need a whole bunch of artists, so you get hundreds of different ones to come in.
Yeah.
And that's one of my goals down the line, is to and now I'm going to spill some beans here, because I haven't talked about this in public
spill
yet.
away.
But one of the Kickstarters, that probably my first Kickstarter that I want to do, and I have an idea of doing them in 21, and that's the plan, to see if I can do a Kickstarter. That will be to do generic maps of areas, like a big desert map, a big jungle map, a big like mountain chain, generic large areas that people can purchase in print and in digital format, and then they can use them as base for their own maps. And then you can simply purchase for a little bit more money. You purchase a commercial license, and then you can use it in your own product, so to speak. Generic stock art, that's the term in for general thing. I want fantasy stock art, and I want to have stock maps that you can just take in and fiddle around with and use, and then you can simply put them on your website, whatever. You pay like, yeah, you pay print, then that way you can make much larger series of it, and you can have print on demand and stuff. So that's something I think more that someone should start a stock art service for fantasy art and fantasy maps. That will be fantastic, because lots of artists can put their stuff in there, and then you can just purchase it for a smaller fee, and then you can use it.
Dyson does something like that for
Yeah.
dungeon maps mostly.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
you
But we
know.
need to have a place where you can find from hopefully hundreds of artists, and you can find it that way. You can just go in there and you license a picture quick and easy, and doesn't cost that much money.
Great idea. Absolutely fantastic idea.
Yeah, so we'll see. Yep.
Just that was my one quick gripe there. So if we want to talk about a couple other things that are going on our channel, obviously, guys, you know, Reaper's been really kind to us, and so we are in the process of Bill and I get together and we get our Reaper orders together, get the stuff, and we're usually going to be using more and more. So we are actually converting a lot. Like, I have all these plastic minis. We're going to use them where I need them. But like for the fundraiser event and for some major events, we're trying to get more and more custom paint job monster figures, which we've never had. That's a new thing for us. So
yeah, we never done monsters.
Yeah, never. So Bill, and the good thing is Bill's on a roll. As you can see, he's doing it right now, and he's been on a roll with it. And so, you got anything there you can show?
Sure. What do you want to see?
Show show Anna something.
Say, well, here's I just got to get in front of the camera. Here's a Tomb Guardians. It's blurry. You're not really going to be able to see.
No, that's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah,
this is when it passes vampire orcs.
Okay.
Oh, vampire. That sounds
vampire
cool.
Orc,
Vampire orcs.
But,
Yep.
let's see here. Yeah, there's this one here. Let me get in front of the camera. It's kind of hard to see, but this is Anna's Ranger Mage for our campaign.
Oh.
Yeah, he did Imri Cyril. Wow. It has her own figure now.
Yeah.
Yes,
wow.
He's working on that. Yeah, absolutely. So he's
I have to come at least once next year. In person. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
well, I was excited to hear too. One of the things with Reaper is going to be at PAX Unplugged next year.
Oh, that's good.
Wow.
That is awesome. And they need to be, and that's fantastic. So, all right, we're a little early here. Let's talk about the conventions. We haven't done conventions yet. So, I did PAX Unplugged in 2018. I'd never been to Gen Con. I met a lot of people. Dice was one of them. Sean, I met his daughter. I met a lot. We met Shane. We met a lot of people, right? I had a great time. But the main thing that happened for me was, and I ran it twice, I don't think Carlos is on now, was I asked Carlos, do you want to do something in compilation? Do it together, combined, and work to publish it. So we came up with the Horror and Hools, and I ran my first part.
Be right back, guys.
Take your time. I ran my first part, and then Carlos ran his part the first day of the convention, and that was a 9-hour session roughly, and it was great, and it went very well. And then I reran mine at the Greyhawk House for Sean and Josh Sterrett and Shane, and it was a fun time. So those pics should be coming up shortly. So Gen Con was a great experience, and there's a picture of the group. But I was really looking forward to GaryCon in 2020, and everyone knows, I had some issues. So what has happened to this point is the following. After our show Monday night, well, actually during the show Monday night, we had the doubleheader after Carlos had Luke Gygax on. And I had Anna, Brian, and Tim on. We did an impromptu, a one-day Gabbin. Luke called me right in the middle of the show and wanted to talk to me about what was going on at GaryCon, and give me some assurances and talk to me about some things. And he was very candid and honest and upfront about it. And then Chuck Cumbell from Baboonsky, and he was also the national sales manager for Troller Games. If you guys don't know that, has offered to store all my stuff right at the convention site for their booth and in their storage area. So I'm 75% going now. Okay, Brian Blomklot said you should go. Greg Elustrian, you're going to be there. Marco's still going. Brian Sublime's going to go. Anna's going. Mike's going. The whole crew's going. So I figured, unless I have a reason, one of the reasons was, a lot of you don't know, but you know, hey, I'm married, right? I got a real life going on outside this. Bill understands this as well, and I kind of got the okay to do both GaryCon and ReaperCon last night, right, Bill?
Well, sort of, yeah. With conditions.
Yes, with conditions, but I kind of got the approval for that, so it looks like I didn't cancel any of my the seminar, nothing. I didn't cancel any of that, so it looks like we're going to be doing it. We're going to be doing GaryCon, and I'll make a final decision. Actually, I really need to make one by tomorrow, but it looks pretty good. Like I'm going to just keep my schedule going and go there and grin and bear it. So yeah, Shia must be obeyed. You got that. PAX Unplugged was really cool this year, in particular because two reasons. I didn't feel like I had no idea what the hell I was doing. We ran the Heroes of Greyhawk. 3 reasons. We ran the Heroes of Greyhawk night. That picture's up. There's Anna at my house, and there's Christoph and Anita there too.
Yep.
And
it was one of the biggest highlights of the year. It was great meeting Anna.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so much meeting you, all of you. That was, yeah, that night was fantastic.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm glad everyone enjoyed that adventure. It was a one-night session.
Was so cool. Yeah.
You know, we had a fun time. That kicked off PAX.
And I can tell all of you that his basement is even more impressive than on video, so to speak. Even more impressive with all the books and all the miniatures and all the stuff that you showed it once on one of the shows you did.
I did on Legends and Lore with you.
Exactly. Yes, we did a little bit of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff you haven't seen that is there. So it's 40 years of campaigning in one basement. That's amazing. Yep.
Yeah, and Gitano's saying it. I ran 3 games in 48 hours, and there's a picture of Gitano, you, Walt, and Bill. So we ran Horror in the Holes first. Gitano played both of them, which I really appreciated. That was awesome. Thank you so very much that you did that. But Bill and Walt played in this one. We did, because they'd never run it. So we did Horror in the Holes the first day, and it was Walt's idea to get the banner, and I'm glad I did. So, that helps out having that. And we met a lot of people, and it was a good time. Walt and I went over and hung out with the Legends of Adventures people that one night. That was fun. This is the second day. There's Gitano and myself, Josh, and there was 2 fathers, and they all had brought 3. They all had sons, and they brought them all, and we ran. A Delve into the Lord's Tomb, an old adventure I'd run 20 years ago. And Gitano was shocked. Oh man, thanks, thank you so very much. Gitano was shocked. I don't want to ruin it for anyone because I am running it at GaryCon, but something bad happens at the end that he didn't even see coming, and it was awesome. So. It was a fun time, and I'm glad I ran both of them there at PAX, and of course, looks like I'm running both those same adventures at GaryCon. Have already been submitted. Yeah, you were crushed literally. Abdul, who has had that happen to him multiple times, but I wish that we could do more groups, more stuff like that, but it's so hard. It's hard to get everyone together across all over the country,
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons, Anna, Bill, and everyone listening, why I don't think I should. Another reason I'm thinking, if I miss GaryCon just because I'm really pissed off about where I'm going to be sleeping each night, I gotta think about this long and heavy. So
you should go.
So you could say it's about 90% now. So.
Yep.
But it'll be a blast. I'm looking forward to running those both, and
and there's a whole bunch of there's so much Greyhawk stuff going on at GaryCon. So I have a bunch of stuff that I will be involved in. And should we do that now, or should we?
Yeah. Well, let's. So like you said, we don't have to go till 10 o'clock tonight on this one.
Yeah, go on. Yep.
I'll be falling asleep.
Yeah. So guys, this has been a great year.
Mm-hmm.
I have had a blast, and God, how do I say this without, as Bill says, sounding arrogant? I love where we have come in the Greyhawk community. My players, like, people know them now, right? Like Anna, my guys now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you met them all. Everyone knows Bill from his painting. Everyone knows Tim because Tim's an eccentric, strange ex-military guy that you wouldn't want to have anyone else with him in a dark alley. He'd be the one guy you'd want in a dark alley with you. You know, and everyone knows Brian, and everyone knows. So it's really cool that that's happening. If that makes any sense, that like it's not just, you know, everyone knows Mark, you know, because of what he does, and I'm proud and happy about that. That you know, it's the whole team that's doing things, and that makes me feel good. You know, that they're all, you know, doing contribute. We're all contributing to make this, you know, better experience for everyone who's watching and for our players. And we're just trying to grow and evolve, and we'll have more stuff coming, a lot of it. So if you don't have any questions, guys, we'll hit the announcements up. We'll do what we're gonna do in what's going on starting 2020. But it could be some stuff that may be happening this week as well. So Anna, you want to start that off?
Well, first I can talk about first the 576 map. I mentioned it before, but I mentioned it again. They will come out in January and it will be a free download, and you can tweak it and stuff, and then all the source files and stuff will come out probably in February with the final version, and it will be PDFs and JPEGs and the whole shebang. And I think that one is going to be a blast, because there's way more research and done it, and I've tried to make a kind of a well-balanced portrait of with the Flannies or Greyhawk in 576, and so far the reactions of my patrons have been really positive. So I think that one will be a map, that version of the map that lots of people have waited for years. So I think that's a big one coming in January, February. And then it's GaryCon. And GaryCon for me, I have a bunch of seminars that I'm involved in. First on Friday at 10 o'clock, I have my own seminar in 2 hours, where I will talk about my maps and present a whole bunch of new cool stuff coming, and there will be some talk about technology and a peek into how the process is done, how the sausage is made, so to speak, and also talk about the future, a whole bunch of things. There are a lot of technical things. There's a whole new generation of technology coming into the world of map making, 3D map making that I'm doing. So I want to talk about that. There's a whole bunch of new possibilities and pitfalls and stuff. So that will be, and also, of course, the Greyhawk aspect of things too. And then there is on 3 o'clock on Friday, there is the Celebrating Greyhawk, the fandom seminar, that I'm one of the panelists on that one. So there will be a whole, I think Alan and Wade and Christoph and you and a whole bunch of others. I think will be like 4 or 5 or something. So we'll see. There were a bunch of awesome Greyhawk fandom luminaries on that panel, more distinguished than me. So that will be the one that will be, I think, a lot of fun. It was a great success last year, and it will be good. And then we have on Saturday at 11, that was going to be a kind of seminar workshop thing that Alyssa Faden and me and Kfir Mendel, he's the kind of the cave mapper, he called himself. He's doing maps on leather maps and stuff. So he has a real cool process of doing kind of 3D maps on leather. So he presses,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, presses on leather and paints it and stuff. It's super cool. So he's an awesome cartographer, and Alyssa Faden is legendary. So us three, we decided to have a seminar where we just spawn things and start getting tasked from the audience to do things, and then we kind of discuss how we will tackle different things and stuff like that. So it'll be kind of a hands-on, seat of the pants seminar workshop kind of thing. So we'll see. And then I will be on the panel at 6 o'clock on Saturday. There is a freelancing 101, how to be a freelancer and how it is to work in this kind of field of work, how to be a freelancer, how to survive, how to get into the business, how to thrive in it, and how to deal with all the pitfalls and the joys and the sorrows that you get in
You're
working
busy.
in this. Yeah, full time. So those are
Wow.
the seminars that I'm directly involved in, and then there's a bunch of others that I will love, that I will go and attend. So that's my GaryCon, and I will also try and I will organize a little get together for my patrons, because I will think there might be like 15 or 20 of them at least, so we can have a get together in an evening at the bar or something like that and babble
Well,
Greyhawk
that
and
sounds
stuff.
like a
So
blast. I'll
yep.
be there.
So that's that's my plan for GaryCon, and then going forward, it's not so crystal clear when it comes to the dates. But one project that has been hanging in midair, and it's kind of still hanging a little bit, is Lindor Isles, Len Lakofka's little bit favorite little spot in the world, so to speak, in the world of Greyhawk. And the thing is, it's halfway done, and the terrain. The interesting thing is that they're both a new version of World Machine that has a lot of new cool features that I want to add if possible. And there's also Gaia coming out very soon with stuff that are simply beyond anything. So I might actually go back to the drawing board and redo it again. That's something I have to start looking at roughly around GaryCon in March. I have to look into it and see what the possibilities with the new tools are, because they can do a way better job than I have existing already. So that's why it's hanging in a little bit of in midair. So there will be two. There's like the new version of a World Machine is Plan B, because Gaia looks even better. So that's the thing. So but there is now one of the things, and now I'm getting technical, but I'm going to explain one in 1 minute here. That when you have big mountain ranges, and think about the Rockies or the Appalachians or the Alps or even Himalayas, they have a drainage spacing, meaning all the valleys and the rivers, they actually reach downhill all the way to the ocean or out on the plains. So mountains, they drain naturally in kind of really cool sophisticated ways, and that's something that has been impossible to do properly before. You had to manually sit and draw every little valley, and with Fractal that become impossible. So my existing Flanies map from this perspective is terrible. It's I've tried to make it work, but it doesn't look that good. Now World Machine has that built in. The latest version of World Machine have proper drainage maps that will do that job much better, and you can actually do it. So that is one of the key reasons that I'm actually looking into to keeping World Machine. But Gaia will have rivers, and if they have that function too, then that's my first bet, so to speak. But Plan B, so the technology is now way better for what I'm doing, so I can do a way better job much faster. So that's why I have hold off on the Lindor Isles. And also another map that came in this kind of break here, I was planning to do Hepmona Land and just doing it straight out of Photoshop. But now when the tools are getting so much better, I don't want to do Hepmona Land just to redo it again in a couple of years. So that's why I've hold off, because Hepmona Land is that perfect size of five
Yeah.
or like 3,000 miles, something like that, 4,000 miles from one end to the other, that I can actually fit in reasonably within the technical constraints of working in 3D. So that will be the perfect case to kind of expand from a little island to a much larger subcontinent, or it's the size of Greenland roughly, or something like that. So, or a little bit bigger. So that's something that I will dig into to do. But there's still the plans for 2020 is Lindor Isles, and then Ratik will be the first kind of part of the mainland Flanies that I will actually dig into. But Hepmona Land is another hot contender. If there might be reason for me that I can't move in, I don't want to move into mainlands yet. So then there might be Lindor Isles or Hepmona Land. We'll see. That simply depends on what kind of technology is available in spring, March. It's talking March, April, May, so to speak. That's when I have to decide which way to go. But those are the ones that we'll dig into. And then I have the whole of Earth is something that is also part of doing. So my plan is to have the continental maps, kind of land masses mapped out, and then the major mountain ranges and stuff. And we're talking just map them out very simplistically, because that way I can start doing the basic climate maps. I can do sea level maps, and I can do ocean currents and a bunch of stuff that actually tells me how to do the more detailed maps coming in. So that's another project for 2020. So, and then 2020 is a kind of a stepping stone. In the 2018, 2019 have been working with the hybrid technology of old and new, and now 2020 going forward, there will be a whole new generation. Because what I'm working on the current Flanese map is done using 20-year-old technology, or even So and then you take my work for Midgard, and the latest little maps and stuff like Lindor Isles is done using 10-year-old technology, and now there is a bleeding edge coming out that is a complete new set technology, and that's what I want to start using. So that's why I might restart doing Lindor Isles from scratch again. So we'll see.
What's cool is like
Yep.
your technology is coming out new, and the 3D printer technology is getting better too on our end.
Yep.
So it's like
That's
we got a lot of
and that's the other cool. I saw at that was at SIGGRAPH. There was a guy, he had printed 3D printed terrain and 3D printed them with a kind of sand printer that could actually print in that colored the sand. So it was a 3D colored 3D print, that it was full color, and that will be kind of awesome to print small pieces. You can have the Flanese hanging on the wall or sitting on the game table, the whole continent, so to speak. That's one of the I've looked into it. There is a company located in the northern LA area, somewhere up in the north of Santa Monica. They do these models from museums and stuff. And I actually reached out to them and asked them what kind of what do they need in order to do it. They need a 3D model and stuff, and I can provide all that. The problem is that the prices starts out about $25,000-$30,000. These are for museums and stuff to do for their exhibitions, but I realize it's technically possible to
we don't make that much each month on Twitch.
Exactly. Yeah, me too. I don't make that. I don't make that money per year, roughly, sometimes. So doing this. But there are technical possibilities, and now at SIGGRAPH, I saw you can actually get full 3D printing is coming in full color. That is coming, and that opens up new cool possibilities that we can start playing with. So I think 2020 is the year to start looking into the possibilities, and then maybe in 2021, 2022, they will definitely be possible to do cool stuff like that.
It's exciting.
And also, I have a secret project I haven't spilled the beans on yet, and that will be tied into my. I will go to in September. I will go to England to run D&D in a castle, and that is going to be a very exclusive adventure for people that. For the participants in D&D in a castle. So it's a bunch of people who want to spend way too much money to go to another part of the world and play D&D in an English castle in northern England near Newcastle. Lumley Castle, it's called. And so I'm going to run an adventure over like a small mini campaign over 4 or 5 days with a bunch of gamers. And I'm going to do a very special mapping project for that group. And that will be something super exclusive, and I'm not going to tell what it is yet, because I'm building the adventure, and there will be some awesome maps coming with that, and that is something that my patrons will get as soon as the adventure is run in England. They will get hands of these maps, and then I will see if I can. They might not be able technically to incorporate them into future Greyhawk map, but that's what I'm hoping. And if not, it will be released to the public later, maybe around November or something like that. They will be released for everybody, with including some notes and sketches and stuff, including, and then because I want to do a large hex scroll over a large area of terrain somewhere in the Flanese in Greyhawk, and really emphasize playing outdoorsy kind of adventure. So there will be some awesome battle maps and stuff going in coming out for that adventure. So that's basically what I have planned. And then there's some other surprises and setbacks and stuff. But for me, it will be a very technically interesting year, because I have basically new technology everywhere. And so that also means that my patrons, and then on my website, will also get a lot of technical posts. So my top patrons who've been waiting this in despair this year because I barely posted anything technically, you will get your hands full next year, because I'm working on a blog post now about drainage maps and top bottom or bottom up or top down perspective in mapping, and there will be a whole bunch of these kind of new technology ideas and how to go forward with source files and stuff. So yep.
Awesome. Appreciate that, Anna. So Bill, I have this picture up because no matter what, we're going to do this. I've decided. Okay. For you, what do you got to announce for what you're doing crafting wise for 2020?
We were talking about for our giveaway.
Yeah. So explain what's up there and what you're going to do.
Yeah. So for our giveaway for our charity event, I'm going to be painting up the Obsidian Temple or
Obsidian Crypt, and that is
Obsidian Crypt, the Reaper, and for our largest donator, I'll be giving that away.
Yes. So what Bill's going to do, we have for our 24-hour mega stream fundraiser on February 15th, we have already some crafters that have stepped up. Art of Mike Disney is one of them, and he's painting the Falcon, the miniature, for us for the end. So Bill is going to also do some things, and this is one of the things. We're going to get this Obsidian Crypt, and we're going to paint it up very nicely. He's going to, in a cool style. It'll look something similar to this, but it'll be super cool looking. I said super cool again twice this show. Sorry. But the top donator of the entire 24-hour stream will get that courtesy of Lord Gazumba channel. So and Bill and Master Crafter.
Wow, right? That is amazing.
Yes, and that'll sweeten the pot a little bit, guys. So yeah, because we really want to hit that 2,000. So I know Bill's son's talking to him, so I'll chat a little bit more on this. So we're going to have more participation, and I think there's more and more channels. One of the other was the Bards of Greyhawk. If you ever seen their albums, they contacted me, and they want to do something for the fundraiser event as well. So I'm trying to my suggestion was, well, let's do a song about the Falcon. Take the 3 Falcon modules and do a song about it. Of some sort, and then I will port it into my stream. It'll be the theme music beginning and ending for the stream. So we'll see if that happens. So yeah, it's a great model, Jason, and it's going to be something that someone's going to enjoy, because we'll ship it at our cost whoever is the big deal on that day, and we will let everyone know who that is probably that night. So make it obvious at some point, because someone will go insane, which is great. So Bill, what else we got going on, man?
I mean, terrain wise, just paint. The new Reaper sponsor has been great, and we're going to be adding a lot of new models to the table every week, just about. So it's going to be a lot of fun. My wife's not thrilled with the extra painting time, but
you're sitting there watching TV and painting, though.
Yeah.
Until I move the craft center downstairs. So
yeah. So I'm sorry, Anna, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say one of the other things that we have for next year is also to do a revamp of a version for your campaign of my map too. So we need to
yes,
dig into that, and we also need to dig into City of Altamira later.
We really do. I mean, I have that hand-drawn map. So what's going to happen is, I think we're going to take. I talked a little bit. I think the 576 map is much more amenable than 598.
So when that is done and out the door, then you take that and start thinking of the changes you want to do, and then we do a show about that later on. And we should also have a legends and lore dedicated to mapping down the line, because we need to discuss more about the Earth and various. When I have some climate studies and some other things that we have dug in, so we have to kind of get the feel of the community for stuff like that, because that needs to be discussed and debated and worked on before. So before it's something that can be again, just like the regular maps, is that can be accepted by a broad majority of people in the Greyhawk community. That's really
and think about this. So we're pretty far south, and I got like winter is bad, and it should probably not be that far south, but I don't care because I have the overlays and I like the concept on it. But
well, you can have magical influence, and we can have planner influence, and all sorts of crap going on in a fantasy world too. So,
it's that's kind of the idea. Yeah, that there's some evil thing going on beyond that. But
well, you have the Bright Desert and a whole bunch of stuff.
But so Bill's really going to town, guys. There's shelves of, and hopefully we'll have a crafting episode. I'm trying to work this out with Reaper to have a crafting episode where we have actual crafters on. We may just forego Reaper because now because they're just so Sunday night may be tough for them, and we may get Bill and Jimmy the Brush and Jacob Jansen and maybe one or two other crafters on, and just have a crafting show and just gab about crafting and painting. And we may just do that as it relates to D&D. So, because we have the great thing is, one of the reasons why we've jumped up so much in followers is we've kind of bridge that gap between the crafting community and the D&D community. So it's a good thing. To add the crafters in to what we're all doing can only help everyone else, because they're very loyal people, and they do great work. And it's really, Mike Disney offered, he's like, Jay, what can I do for this? And I was like, hey, I'd love to have a custom-made figure of the Falcon. She's Dark Naga, right? Everyone kind of.
I think it's a huge overlap between the two. Meaning, I'm kind of the opposite in many ways from the ones that've been into miniature and crafting and stuff. But for me, it's really interesting, even if I don't use it myself.
Right.
It's really interesting, and I think a lot of crafters probably like the setting and would have a setting to kind of dedicate their craft towards, so to speak, too. So yeah.
So this is what I'll do. I'm going to do it in reverse. I'm going to set a date for this show, and whoever can participate can participate. So let's talk about future shows. Marco's on tomorrow night. Okay, so Marco's back with his Adventures of Slap and the Gates of Firestorm Peak. He's back. So that'll be our last stream of 2019, starting January 2nd, 2020. Our first, and I've already talked about this, return to Orog's Mound. It's not just a sliver of the map now, it's a whole map. It's all detailed out, and I have a little piece of Winchester's Bulwark where the inn is, where the Bronze Dragon Inn is. Only that piece will be up for the role-play part. So kind of our style where we have the inns up, but the outdoor area is out there, because remember, it's back to winter again in this. So everyone gets to see Fritz talking trash again on Thursday night. Lots of NPCs. I'm excited about it. Then, next Sunday night, Jason, you're going to love this, all right? So our next Gabbin show, next Sunday, 7:30, back to our regular time, guys, is Bloggers of Greyhawk, all right? So I have commitments from Jason. Mike, hopefully you can be on. So I've asked Greyhawk Mike to be on. Tommy John Kelly is scheduled to be on as well, and everyone knows him from his he writes some great stories. And I've asked David Leonard, Snafu, and David's 50-50 because of the time frame. I said, well, just come on for a half hour, David. Just, So next week we're going to get the bloggers on. Yes. So Jason, I can't add Firestorm Peak to my Wall of Fame. I never ran it. I have to run it.
You have to run it. So that's a requirement. Huh?
Yes. Yep. So I think it'll be awesome to have the bloggers on. And it's going to be a fun one, and we're just going to talk about what they do, how they decided to do this.
I want to watch that one.
Greyhawk influence and input. It'll be a great show. And then the week after that, we'll do the show on elves. Okay, it'll be delving into the elf. Not much dark elf, but regular high elves, gray elves, and stuff like that. Okay, so a week from now, let's see if I can do this without messing this up. Legends and Lore, I'll pop that up. A week from Wednesday, January 8th, Legends and Lore will be back. Okay?
Yes.
And let me see. I should have it here. And here's the new Legends and Lore. Hopefully it's a new one. New year, time, calendar, and festivals. Okay? So that will be the discussion point on Legends and Lore, January 8th, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Legends and Lore will be back. And then we'll probably be off on the 15th because I have something and Anna has something that day. And then the 22nd we'll be back with the Living Greyhawk community on. So we got 2 great episodes of Legends and Lore coming up in January. Some things that you may see on here as well. Everyone's seen this Trials of the Legion. I'm going to be running this Orog's Mound adventure the next 2 Thursdays. Trials of the Legion should start in 3 weeks. Super high level stuff. And I don't think we've ever seen. Has anyone ever seen these adventures except in David Gradavis's adventures?
No, I mean we haven't used the Legion in a long time.
Yeah, it's this group of characters is pretty interesting because there's a lot of neutrals in it, and they're in the Shieldlands helping out. But that's why it's going to be a neat thing. We're going to do a series of adventures where they're going to have to choose who they're playing and make some decisions all across the Shieldlands. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been working on that, and then February 15th is the huge fundraiser event, 24 hours, guys. So the ads will be coming out shortly. As soon as Frank has them, he's going to give them to me for final approval, and then all the channels, we're going to give them to all the channels. You'll be seeing them all over the place for this mega stream event for 2020. And then do these end up on YouTube? Yes, David, they do. I have to wait 24 hours to upload them onto YouTube, but here, let me link this. So they're on Twitch for 90 days, okay? Here's my link. The bottom one, the YouTube link, is my channel on YouTube. Every single vid we've ever done, well, almost all of them, are there. So it's basically a mirror on YouTube. So please, yeah, no problem. No problem. Please hit me a subscribe on there too. Thank you all so very much for it. Did I miss anything? I'm going to GaryCon, guys. All right, I'm going.
Okay, good. You're going.
So
you see, I was going to say you were 75 when the show started, and now you're committed. That's
I'm
great.
100. Yeah. I'm going to be going.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm going to get my hotel room and my.
I'm flying to Milwaukee, guys. All right, so I'm flying into Milwaukee, and I'm looking forward to it. I just got to finalize things with Chuck Cumbell, make sure that they could store my stuff like he said he could. But yes, I'm going to go for it.
That's perfect. That's awesome. Yep, that's the spirit. Yep.
So we did not go into detail on a lot of stuff in 2019 because it's all up there all the vids are up. And if you ever have any questions, we can always I can highlight some things in future discussions. But it was a packed year, and 2020 is even more packed. I think it's going to be a great, with all the things going on, with the sponsorships, with all the events we're running, and all the the conventions. I'm so excited about it. So I wanted to get this Year in Review 2019 in the books. 50 Gabbins this year. See how many we do next year. But on that target to the 100th show, which we'll try and do something like similar to the 50th, we'll do a Greyhawk talk, and we'll just have everyone on again for the 100th. So we're 23 shows away. That's about 4 to 6 months. And we'll have another DM's roundtable soon, too.
Yeah, I think Jason had an awesome idea. You get Luke to play Melf in Yep.
He can't. Here's the thing, and he talked about on Carlos's show. He doesn't own the rights to Melf, which is really sad.
But he still has the right to play him. He can, like everybody else have. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see who signs up for my games at GaryCon. But thanks all for watching tonight. It's been our honor to bring this. I mean, to you guys. It's without you guys, we wouldn't be doing it. If there wasn't interest out there, we would not be streaming. So I'm looking forward to everything that's coming up. Look for Tim as well. Tim hasn't given me any dates yet on his Saturday night special because we got so many Saturday things going on already. It's probably not going to be until April, is my guess. Thanks, Gitano. Thank you all the people who subbed tonight. We had a whole bunch. Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Mario, for the cheers, and thank you, Mike, for the cheers. Thank you. It's been awesome. Anything in closing? Anyone to say?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who helped me in so many ways this year, and it's fantastic, from Patreon to my Flanders Geographical Society. A lot of people talk to me on the conventions and whatnot, so it's awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah.
Bill, any thanks? And
nope, just new year starting up. Get back at it again.
Yep.
Thank you all. We'll see you if you tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern. Mark starts from 6 to 9 on his, and then we will be back on our regular game on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. So we'll see you then. Thanks a lot, guys. Let me see if I can do this without messing it up. There we go.
Awesome. Yep.
Yes, Tom. Happy New Year to you too. You're gonna have to decide. You gotta play Kren and Tom on Thursday, but you can decide that night. Yes. See you next year. Although tomorrow night still. Thank you. Thanks, Babacom. Appreciate it. We are. I need some new ads, man.
Yep. They're good though.
NBA's got some stuff coming out. They got some Kickstarters starting up, so I'll make them give me some new stuff too. And I can't wait to show everyone the 24-hour mega stream ads. There's a 45-second and a 2-minute one. They are going to be unbelievable by Frank from Nightheart Gaming. Unbelievable, with a lot of Great Hawk references in them. So I can't wait.
That'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, music's the toughest thing because you gotta find non-proprietary. You gotta, licensing.
Yeah,
and all that.
there are various services that you can get music and stuff. So I haven't dug into that. So, but yeah.
That's one thing. Frank has some licenses, so he was able to get some really cool music for this upcoming. Remember, guys, if you're interested in participating in the Mega Stream event, there's 6 channels going on. There's shows literally 24 hours and looking for players in it. So. I gotta hit the right button here. See you guys. Have a good one.